Okay, so Mary Esther has passed their mask mandate in Mary Esther, Florida, that starts the 31st of July. And this is a notice at a school: wear a mask. That means you have to wear a mask if you wish to enter. And it's a law. So, if you violate that, you can pay fines starting $50 for the first occurrence. And if you get really poo-pooey about it, they could put you in jail. So, um, if you go to Mary Esther, Florida on the 31st of July 2020, during the corona thing, you might want to bring a mask with you if you wish to enter a business, because it will be required of customers that enter the business and employees. That means even if you want to go to the restroom, you need to wear a mask to enter their store. So they've already done the meetings and everything and passed it. Now they're making it independent to the other cities of what they want to do and how they want to handle it. Now it's Okaloosa County, which covers a pretty large area. Um, and the whole county is not in total agreement with doing it in other cities, but I will show you that that's posted at Elliott Point Elementary School in Fort Walton. Wear a mask. So it said, this is Northwestern Florida DailyNews.com. And it's by Tony Judnick. So this was put up July 23rd, and I had seen it a couple times, but I decided to go in and research it just to hear more, because I'm seeing people looking at front doors of businesses and stuff. I was in Mary Esther today. Okay, so on Wednesday, a majority of the Mary Esther City Council approved an ordinance that starting July 31st will require individuals to wear face coverings while in Mary Esther businesses. So they said that it's the first local municipality to enact a mandatory mask mandate. So here's some people that are sending their pictures of their masks. That's nice. This won't do you much good. And these are not reusable, and this bagging off over here is not doing you any good at all. That mask is good. Okay, so the ordinance takes effect August 1st for the county and will require businesses countrywide to post their mask policies on their entry doors. So it says municipalities have the option of opting out of the county ordinance. So they haven't made a mandate in Okaloosa, but signed a ordinance that they passed instead on July 21st. So it says Fort Walton Beach Mayor shared their thoughts on Thursday about the overall issue of mask wearing during the pandemic. Let's see. There are many people on both sides of the mask issue. I encourage everyone to wear masks to the extent possible and practice social distancing. The biggest problem is people are not doing it, especially the tourists. It's like they left their state and they figure they don't have to do it here, but it's all over the world pretty much, except for a few islands that never got affected by corona. It's really important. Okay, so Destin is kind of arguing over it. If we're going to go ahead and follow the county's policy right now, on the signage required of businesses. Destin City Councilman said on Thursday if the county doesn't have an ordinance requiring mandatory masks and we create one, there would be a battle. Not really. It'll only be the battle of those who live and those who die, honestly. Okay, so he said that, well, Mary Esther has a smaller population and far fewer businesses compared to Destin and Fort Walton. Well, yeah, and I think that Mary Esther is a lot smaller area compared to those. Destin's really stacked and packed, but not as much as Fort Walton as far as businesses. And the rent's a lot higher in Destin, too, for residential and commercial. Let's see. Mary Esther has about 4,500 residents. Destin's residents, 15,000. And doubles during tourist season, which that's now. Niceville has around 16,000. Fort Walton Beach has about 23,000. And Crestview setting at about 26,000. And here's a councilman that's not seeking re-election. Says he's kind of on the fence over this mask mandate. And this one guy, Marler, he said, I have Parkinson's and I work outside and sweating like a dog. My breathing would be encumbered if I had to wear a mask. There is a true concern and fear there by people about getting the coronavirus, but we are ready to shut down our country. This area in Destin cannot take another hit. It will. Guess what? We're already there. Because it looks like we're going to go in a shutdown all over the states again. So, violation of not wearing a mask in Mary Esther will be a non-criminal infraction, but would include a $50 fine for the first offense. So that means it's going to go up as you go, and then they'll arrest you and stuff. So they're going to put signs up, too, and signs on businesses. Crusty officials do not believe the county has authority to implement it in the first place. Well, that's bull. You can do whatever you want to do. Really, these city councils can vote for whatever they want to do. And in Alabama, the counties themselves can go in and cities and can change their own laws. Okay, so don't tell me they can't. So here it is. They're arguing with each other. Crestview officials are not considering mandating mask wearing inside the city limits. But Crestview officials continue to encourage residents to wear masks and practice social distancing. It sounds like he's contradicting himself. Interesting. So, interesting reading. But a lot of it's their little argument with each other. Let's see, I can get this kind of in here so maybe you could read it. That might work. Okay, so they're really going for it on Mary Esther. It's final. I'm proud of Mary Esther for being the leader in the county and passing this ordinance, Baki said. So here's a thing from the Florida Department of Health. At 16,000 on corona cases. They're still doing a lot of testing around Okaloosa County. But this is pretty bad. So this is March 30th. And then over here is July 20th. Look at it spike right here. This is the 11th. 7-Eleven, 100 on the go. 15K cases. That's Florida. But now lower Florida is really bad. Everything Tampa and below. Let's go back to this other one they have up here. I hate all this spammy stuff. I don't want any of that. Well, maybe it's not going to let me look at it. I guess it's not. So, this makes it quite interesting. So that was Mary Esther. Let's see. What we've got for Fort Walton. I know Miami, I think it's Miami that is doing a $500 fine if you don't wear one. Oops. County offices for Walton County. Mask requirements for county offices for employees and people that enter the buildings. So that means the courthouses, any city offices, stuff like that. The DMV, any of that. So you better have a mask in your car in the event you might need one. Republicans opposing mandatory mask requirements while Democrats are more supportive. Jeez. Now, this is true. These grocery stores, Winn-Dixie and Publix, all their employees are supposed to be wearing masks. A lot of them, you'll go through there and pulling them down below their chin and all that, but it's mandatory. They have to send you home if you're not going to wear your mask. Because there's been some checkers that died at Walmart, and they've been suing. The families have been suing for the deaths. So that's why these stores are trying to make it mandatory, because they don't want to be sued. Need to wear N95 mask to slow corona. That's how in Crestview they're talking. They did, by the way, they did cancel the Billy Bowlegs Pirate Festival this year. And in Fort Walton. And then I do know that the hair show, cosmetologist and hair show, has been postponed in the Tampa, Orlando area. It was supposed to be July or August of this year, but I think they've postponed it out to November of 2020 for now. But I kind of feel like we're going to go on another lockdown. Let's see what's on the next page. here in Walton County, so that you know some businesses may require masks for entry. Now, I'm going to tell you how this goes. Oh, and Eglin properties require masks. Absolutely mandatory. Boy, you don't want to get in trouble out there because that's federal. What I was going to tell you was, if you go to a business and it's posted on the door, you must wear a mask to enter this business, or mask required, or anything like that, that they have the right to refuse service to you. They have the right to call the police on you and have you charged or arrested or whatever. If you enter their business without a mask, especially if you're obnoxious, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. So it's better to not enter a business that's posted on the door, mask required, if you don't want to wear one, because they have the legal right to turn you away. So it's called right to refuse service, and it's a legal matter, because then they can get you for trespassing, harassment, all kinds of things other than not wearing a mask. So if you see that and you really don't care to wear a mask, it would probably be better for you not to enter the property. So, and the reason for the mask is it stops, if you by chance have picked up corona, it stops from you transferring this to other people through the air. And then, just like if somebody else has it that's in the store that you're standing in, if they wear a mask, the probability is really low that you'll get it, although they should really be at home, and which creates a huge problem. What about people that are working and have kids and families, and or they're all by themselves and they have nobody to go to the store for them, and they don't know how to use a computer and call DoorDash or an app gig to have things delivered, or don't have the money, A lot of people are pulling money out of banks, which is going to make the banks very, very, very fragile. If you're into buying property right now, this would be the time to jump on it really fast, before everything kind of shuts down, because they're already sending out warnings that people should withdraw all their money. And because just banking industry is very, very fragile right now. I'm seeing people selling stuff that they love. Beautiful cars, their homes, their vacation homes. It's amazing, this stuff going up for sale. The car business is outrageous, especially used cars and collector cars, because people are being forced to cut loose of things to try to keep their businesses alive, or try to even save their house, because everybody's so far behind from the first lockdown. We go into a second lockdown, it's just going to just destroy the entire economy. It's going to ruin us in the United States. Because we already know the government's not going to pay us nothing. Because they only put out one coronavirus check. They should have put out one for every month to try and bring everybody back up. But then there's a girl in Alabama that's getting $900 a week in unemployment, and she's like, well, I'd just rather wait and not work. And so she's making bank, because they have that bonus thing that's like $600 plus your unemployment if you worked over the table. They add those two together, and that's what you get a week. Now, Florida is discontinuing that. It's this week or next week. They're stopping that bonus plan on the unemployment thing. So to go back down to the normal of whatever you've got on the books. If you can get it. They're really behind paying people. People have filed months back and still haven't got their unemployment money. And they do it by card or direct deposit if your account will accept it. Some accounts won't. And cashing checks like that, at some places you've got to have the ID that matches the address and the name on the check, or they're just not going to cash it. So there you go with the mask update from Mary Esther. Let's see. Let's go to, just for the heck of it, let's go look into Florida, period, and see what comes up. Two days ago, Florida Keys has face mask rule with $500 civil fine attached. Woo. Unmasked shopper flashes gun in Brevard store requiring face covering. And you people. Here's some stuff. This looks like Orlando. These Central Florida cities and counties have face covering requirements. But the governor will not issue a statewide mask mandate. Orlando. Jeez. As the number of corona cases in Florida approaches the 150K mark, leaders have turned to executive orders mandating the use of masks and face coverings. So Brevard County, face mask mandate, which I think is that Orlando? This emergency ordinance also requires all other businesses to post their face mask covering policy on the front door of the business so that customers are forewarned. And they've got a mandate for all individuals to wear face mask or covering at all times when at an indoor city-owned and operated facility. Indialantic, where is that? I've been all over Florida and I've never heard of that. 8 a.m. required use of face masks for every person living, working, or visiting the town. So the whole entire town of Indialantic, as of Friday, 8 a.m., which is today, requires everybody wears a face mask if you're in that town, period. So I guess it's indoors, outdoors. That's what it looks like to me. But now it says for indoor town-owned and operated facilities, post face covering policy. It's requiring face coverings for all patrons, whether you have a health problem or not. And the covering is a uniform piece of material that securely covers a person's nose and mouth and remains fixed in place without holding it onto your face. Whether it's store-bought or homemade, it has to be concurrent with the CDC guidelines. Now, I make a 5-layer mask, but I'm going to tell you, in Florida, in the summer like this, it's really hard to breathe through. Indoors and outdoors. It's worse outdoors. The emergency order will remain in place for 7 days beginning 8 a.m. Friday and expiring July 15th and can be renewed. Which I'm sure they probably already renewed it. Orange County, Florida, which I think that's Miami. Anyone living or visiting Orange County to wear a face covering. Orlando. Masks must be worn in locations where social distancing is not possible. But yet people can forget the face covering if they can stay 6 foot apart in parks or large open areas. Okay, so this is indoor outdoors to Orange County. Whoa. Children under 2 years old are exempt. Now, why would you do that? Because they've got babies dying from corona. Everybody can get it. Orange County leads Central Florida with the highest number of corona cases. Yeah, we don't know that. Lower Florida is in bad shape. 10,000 infections and counting. Jeez. Corona dashboard. Now, see, the girl was just fired that used to do statistics, but they used to tell her not to put them all on there. So she started her own website so that she can tell the public the truth. 5,768 deaths in Florida. 402K corona cases. Look how high it's screaming. Look at this. It starts creeping in June 10th. Okay, and this is only like a week. June 10th to the 24th. 24th and 10th it starts going up. Man. 12,444 cases reported on this day in Florida. 24th. Whoa. These are by the day cases. By the day. It's not total, it's by the day. Seminole County goes into effect Wednesday, face cover requirement. Anybody within the county boundaries, in public or inside. Look at that. Because the county has seen more than 3,000 cases of corona. They don't want to close that county down. But if they put a mask mandate up, then they don't have to do shutdown. Well, see, they should have thought about that the first time they shut down and didn't want to pay everybody. Because they just wanted us to stop the world and get off, you know. Maybe the government would have saved a ton of money if they'd have let the world carry on. Osceola County. I'm trying to think of that. Is that over at Jacksonville? Mask mandate. Effect until the virus has been eliminated. There you go. Required face coverings as of April 13th. Anyone in public. Wow. So they have a very low count of corona since they did the mask mandate. Sheriff's Office says when it receives complaints, the reports are sent to the Department of Business and Professional Regulation. Law enforcement often takes an educational approach, working to inform people as they encourage safe practices while out in public. If they can get them to quit it, because God, you say anything to anybody that's like, I went to 2 places today, and some girl was like 2 feet from me, and the guy was right up my butt, and it was like, gosh, where are these people's brains? Okay, so here's Polk County at Lakeland. I love that place. God, that's a beautiful place. Lake Mirror and all that stuff. Is not under a face mask mandate. The mandate would go into effect 5 p.m. to help curb the spread of corona, and that a fine would be used to enforce the resolution. Well then. Jeez. Those wouldn't be required to wear masks. Children under 8 years old. If you have proof of a medical issue, like you have a doctor's excuse or something, I guess. And if you have an occupation that forbids the mask, but social distancing is practiced, good luck. The fine is $250 for those who do not want to comply. Those that are being obstinate and create an issue will be given a fine. Resolution will expire 5 p.m. on August 3rd, unless they renew. Winter Haven. Unanimous vote to enact emergency ordinance. Every person working, living, visiting, or doing business in Winter Haven to wear a face mask in any indoor space other than their personal home. Fine of $150. Will expire August 14th unless they extend it. Let's see what the date of this is. Orlando.com